This
I have some
conference will now be recorded.
I have some doubt on box plot, but at the end of the session I'll ask.
Sure, not a problem.
Okay.
Sure, not a problem. So let us start with today's session that is called as normal distribution. So make sure that you understand in an easier way. Don't get it complicated like asking multiple questions. Like if you ask multiple questions, your answers will become complicated rather than becoming simple. So make sure that understand in a simpler way. That is the way to understand your business. If you complicate it, you'll be the loser. So are you all able to see my screen? Yes, fine. Sure. So let us talk with respect to normal distribution. So who is this waiting for name? 1 second, please. Who is this waiting for name? Could you please talk or could you please update your name? Who is this waiting for name? Could you please talk? Or else just ping me on
No,
chat window. What is? Hello?
you disconnect them, Yogesh. From day one, I'm saying I don't know who is that person. 2-3 people are always waiting for name.
Yes, we have to. Is it Murlidhar? Is it Murlidhar? Oh, Ranjini, please update your name. That is the reason I'm asking you. If you don't know where to update the name, just go to your profile account section and please update your names and mail IDs so that I'll be able to know who is joining and who is not joining the session. So let us start with normal distribution. Normal distribution. So what is normal distribution? Generally, normal distribution looks like this, a bell-shaped curve. So let me just plot it and explain you what is this normal distribution curve. So this is your normal distribution curve. So what is this normal distribution curve is? This is your bell-shaped curve. This is your bell-shaped curve, first point, and this is symmetrical curve. Symmetrical in the sense 50% of the data lies towards your left-hand side of the mean. This is your mean. This center line, whatever I've drawn, that is your mean, that is your mu, and 50% of the data lies towards your right-hand side of the mean. This is 50%, this is 50%. So it is called as your symmetrical curve. It is called as symmetrical curve. Now, this normal distribution or normal variable will always take value within minus infinity to plus infinity. Any normal random variable will always takes value between minus infinity to plus infinity. So what does this mean is anything. So let us take an example of height of a person. Let me take an example of height. So let us take an example of height. So anything which occurs naturally on this earth, anything which occurs naturally on this globe, you can call them as normal variable or normal distribution variable. Remember that. So let us talk with respect to height. Can a person be 1 feet height in this entire globe? Can a person be 1 feet height in this entire globe? Yes or no? I want your answers. Yes, can be. Very less. If you talk, I can have very less number of people with 1 feet height, like dwarfs, right? Dwarfs. So how about 2 feet height? 2 feet height, again it will be slightly more. So this is 1 feet, this is 2 feet. There is between 1.1 feet, 1.2 feet, very less number of people. How many of them are 3 feet? Slightly more than 2 feet. So majority of them will fall under 4 feet to 6 feet, right? Majority of Earth's population falls in 4 feet to 6 feet. 6 feet, yes. So 7 feet, again the probability reduces. 7 feet people will be very less. 8 feet, again less, like this. So anybody who is on this globe, with respect to human beings, their height will be between minus infinity to plus infinity. Nothing will be more than this, nothing will be less than this. Can anybody be more than minus infinity? Can anybody be yes, no, right? So apart from this, can you give me some other example which is normally distributed like this between minus infinity to plus infinity? Take your salary part, take your salary, yes, or your height or your weight, anything. It can be anything. So total entire Earth's population will be within this curve, within this, but yes, age, anything. It can be between minus infinity to plus infinity. If you talk about salary, a person who is richest in the world, he will also be having some. Let me take an example of Ambani. He might be earning very high. Let me take a beggar. He might be earning very less, who is not having anything. So everyone lies within this minus infinity to plus infinity. Nobody will be out of this range and nobody will be out of this range. So that is the reason it is called as your normal distribution. So total 100% of the population or 100% of your data lies within this normal distribution curve. Normal distribution curve. Clear? Clear. Is it clear for everyone? So normal distribution curve always lies between minus infinity to plus infinity. So 100% of the total population of the data, everything will be within this curve. Nothing will be out of this curve. Nothing will be out of this curve. Consider that you're having 100 students. If you take 100 student score, everyone will be within this range only. Nobody will be out of this box, out of this curve. So this is called as your normal distribution curve. Normal distribution curve. So that indicates that this entire curve will cover 100% of the data. 100% of the data. Now coming to your second point. So let me just go to the slides. So the normal random variable takes values between minus infinity to plus infinity. As I told you, this is the curve. It takes values between minus infinity to plus infinity. Minus infinity to plus infinity. Any questions? If you have, you can just get it clarified now itself. See, don't make it complicated, simple. Anything which occurs natural on this earth, everything falls under normal distribution, because nothing will be out of minus infinity, nothing will be greater than plus infinity. Simple.
What is the thing of 0 and 1, Yogesh?
Where is the zero?
The probability that x equal to
Yeah,
0 and
x equal to 0. You're talking about second point.
yeah, second, yeah.
Second point I'll explain you.
Okay,
Second
sorry.
point I have not yet completed. First point I have completed, that your normal random variable always lies between minus infinity to plus infinity. So now the next point is the probability that a normal random variable x equals any particular value is 0 means. So you might have written your exams or you might have got some hike. How many of them have correctly predicted till now, till date? If you are writing an exam out of 100%, did anyone predict that, hey, I'm 100% or 99% confident that I'm going to get 75.28%? Have you predicted this time like this anytime? Have you predicted like this anytime? Then how do you predict, Bharat? I want you to talk and answer me. How do you predict? Okay, so we predict a range, right? We predict a range. Exactly, you cannot tell that. So consider that your hike. So Rakesh will tell that. Okay, Rakesh, can you tell me that what would be your hike this year, upcoming year? Can you tell me the exact hike? You'll be getting 15.27%, or will you be getting 12.38%, or will you be getting 8.19%? Can you tell me like this? Out of these three, which one?
Normally, we would take a round figure. We would not go into decimals aspect of
Round
it.
figure in the sense?
We would keep something like 15, 10.
Or you might
On
tell
that.
it is in this range, right? 10 to 12%, or
Yeah.
50 to 60%, right? So this is
Yeah.
the true range. So anything, see, the probability of a normal random variable x equals any particular value. Any particular value means if you cannot tell it as 15.17%, I'll be getting a hike of 15.17% exactly. Or you cannot tell that in my exam I'm going to get 75.43% exactly, or 25.25% or 42% exactly. You cannot tell a single value. That is your particular value. So the probability associated with any single value, any particular value, is always zero. How it is zero, I'm going to explain you now. So what is your probability formula? It is interested events divided by total number of events. So there is a chance that if you tell that from 0 to 100% you can score in your exam. 0 to 100% you can score in your exam. So can you tell me what is the total number of events? Can you tell me what is the total number of events? Can you tell me what is the total number of events? It is infinity. As Devanshu told, it is infinity. It cannot be 2. So how it will be infinity is 0%. First student might score 0%. Another student might score 0.0001%. Another student might score. There is chances of scoring like this also. Another student might score like this. Another person might score like this. Another person might score like this, like this. So from 0 to 100%, there might be n number of values. So that is the reason the total number of events becomes what? Total number of events becomes infinity. Total number of events becomes infinity. But I am interested in only 25.25%. I am interested in only one event. So 1 by infinity is how much? 1 by infinity is how much? It is 0. Anything divided by infinity is 0. So that is the reason the second point says that the probability that a normal random variable x equals any particular value is always 0. Or else simple way I will be telling in my own sentence, write it down. Write it down. So the probability associated with any single value is always 0. Probability associated with any single value is always 0. Why it is 0? Because 1 divided by infinity is 0. Why it is infinity? It can take n number of values. It can take n number of values. So that is the reason your total number of events is infinity, and your one event is always 1. So 1 by infinity is 0. So you can write down in your own sentence, the probability associated with any single value is always 0. This will be your 100% interview question. They will ask you simple questions like this. Hey, what is the probability of tomorrow's temperature being 25.5 degree, or 26 degree, or 27 degree? Even though if they ask you a round figure, you should not tell it as 50%, 60%. You should tell only 0. Answer should be always 0.
Hello, Yogesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the probability associated with a single value is zero, you said.
Yes.
Yeah, that should be of something that is a part of this normal distribution, right?
Obviously, anything will be normal distribution. Yes. You can take anything which is naturally on this earth will be always normal distribution.
No, no, I was saying that the probabilities that we have discussed earlier, no, like tossing of a coin or something, those are not
Yes.
this.
Those are not this in the sense that is also under this only, right? See, in that case, there are only two events.
Yeah.
In that case, only 2 events. Either it will be 0.5. So that is an event. That is
Yeah,
an
exactly.
event.
Uh,
So here, the probability associated with any normal random variable with a single value is always 0. It can be any normal random variable.
okay, okay. Yeah, got you.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Got it, Ram Shiva?
Yogesh, the only difference between an event and a variable is event will have less number of probability, whereas my this random variable will have infinity. Is it like that?
No. It is not like that. See, if I'm talking with respect to event, it is just an action. It is just an
Okay.
action. So here, tossing a coin was an action. Tossing a coin was an event or an action, right? So in that, there is no chance of having multiple values. Whether you toss multiple times, either you will be getting only 2 options. One is head, another one is tail.
Yeah.
So, but in your exam, there might be chances of getting any number of marks, right? You can get 1.11%, 1.12%, 1.13%,
Okay.
1.14%, 1.15%, like that. Yes,
Yes.
it will be like that.
Okay.
So Yogesh, as per this example regarding exam, if the probability of
Yeah.
a percent of exam is the value come as a 0 only, no?
Yes, the probability of any random variable will be always 0.
0.
Yes. So now, coming to this point, I've already explained this. Once again, I'll tell you the total area under this entire normal curve is equal to 1. Means 1% probability of 1 feet height, 2% probability 1 feet height, 3% probability 3 feet height, and majority of them, 80%, 99% of the population will be between 4 feet to 6 feet height, and remaining 0.11 and like this will be 0. So total 100% of the population, that is your 1. If you write 1, it is called as 100%. So 100% of the total population will be within this curve. Within this curve. Note down the curve and note down these 3 points. So write it like this: minus infinity, plus infinity, and this point I have already explained you. So the probability associated with any single value is always 0 with respect to normal random variable. And the third point is the total area under this curve is always equal to 1. Means 100% of your total data or the population lies within this bell-shaped curve or normal distribution curve.
Yogesh, the total area under the normal curve is equal to 1.
Yes. See, what does it mean
So,
is, for example, yeah, I'll tell you that part. So what does this mean is, a person who is earning 1 rupee also will be within this curve. A person who is a billionaire like Ambani also will be within this curve. A person who is like Rakesh, Yogesh, Manjunath, uh, Ranjini, Lahari, Mega, everyone will be in this range only. Even billionaires are here. Even very less people, who are not earning also, we are earning 1 rupee, or who are not earning, everyone will be in this range only. Clear?
it says equal to 1. That's a little confusing. That's all. I understood
Equal to 1. Okay,
what you're
equal to 1
saying.
in the
Under
sense.
infinite, every possibility comes. That's right.
Yes, under this curve, every possibility comes. Equal to 1 means equal to 100%. Means it cannot be equal to 90%. All the possibility of this will be equal to 100%. The total curve will have 1. 1 means it is 100%.
So the entire
Not
population
more
for
than this. Yes.
entire population
Entire
falls under
population.
this falls in the same segment. Given the
Yes. Same segment in the sense under the bell-shaped curve, normal
Yes,
distribution curve. It can
Yeah,
be
yeah.
1 rupee salary, it can be 1 billion salary, it can be 10 lakh salaries like us, it can be 20 lakh salaries like you, or it can be 5 lakh salary as a fresher, or it can be 50 lakh salary as your project manager. Everyone will be under this curve. So tell me a simple question I'll ask you. Simple question with respect to this. What is the probability of in this entire India, how many of them might be getting approximately a salary of 10 to 30 lakhs? Okay, 10 to 20 lakhs. 10 to 20 lakhs.
30%, 20%.
30%. Okay, let me put it as 30%. So 30% is done here. So how many of them will be getting more than 20 lakhs to 30 lakhs? 20 to 30 lakhs? Around 10%. So I'll put it as 10%. How many of them will be getting greater than 30 lakhs? Again,
Maybe
5%
5%.
also. Maybe 5%. So how many of them will be getting less than 5 to 10 lakhs? Sorry, between 5 to 10 lakhs? Again, I can call it as 40%.
40%, 40.
Yes, 40%. So 40% plus 30%, 70 plus 10, 80 plus 85. How many of them will be getting less than 5 lakhs, 2 lakh, 1 lakh, 0, all these things? Maybe 15%. So entire count, if you take it, it is equal to 1. It is equal to 100%. It is equal to 1. Got it now, Rakesh?
Yeah. So the total equals to 100%. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes.
Whatever we plot, percentage of occurrences we plot, the total value
Yes.
equals 100%.
Yes. Total value will be 100% under this curve. That is what this is meant.
Any other example of sales or any other things, Yugesh?
Yeah, you
Apart
can
from
take
this
with respect to sales example also. Consider that this is your 1 year sales. Okay, this is your 1 year sales. Entire 1 year sales is plotted under this curve. So from January 1st to December 31st. Okay, Jan 1st to December 31st, 2018, all the sales will be included within this curve. So consider that Jan 1st, there was very less number of sales, only 1% of sales. Second day, it was 2%, or it can be 0.1%, third day, like this. There will be ups and downs in your sales. So in during some season, for example, let me take from festival seasons, like from your June till your
Yes, October.
September or October, because we have Dasara, all the Ganesh festival, that festival, this festival, your sales might be high in this range. From June to October or November, your sales would be 75-80%, for example, and remaining will be spread around all these things. So the entire year sales will be under this region, that is equal to 100% sales of your entire year. In January month, you have only 1%. In December month, due to some annual shutdown in companies, or in your annual shutdown in some countries, you might have very less number of sales. But in this festival season, you might have 80% of the sales. Got it? Is it clear for everyone? Please note down the points. Yeah, can you
Yogesh,
quickly explain? Yes. Yes.
so this normal distribution is also called as a symmetric curve.
Yes, obviously it is symmetrical curve, right?
Because
50% of the
50%.
data lies towards you. Yes, 50% of the data lies towards your left hand side and right hand side. That is the reason it is called as normal distribution curve. And also it is called as your symmetrical curve. If it is asymmetrical curve, your curve will be like this. Your left hand side, it is called as your skewness, right? We have discussed. It is called as your asymmetrical curve. A asymmetry in the distribution is called as skewness. Okay, now coming to the next topic with respect to the same normal distribution curve. So let us try to understand what is the importance of your normal distribution curve when it comes. So coming to this normal distribution curve. So x, you already know x is nothing but your random variable. So random variable which is following normal distribution curve, I'll write it in this way. X is a random variable which is following normal distribution curve given mu. Mu is nothing but your mean and standard deviation sigma. Standard deviation sigma. So I'll repeat once again. X is a random variable which is following normal distribution given mu and standard deviation. So when you always talk with respect to normal distribution variable, you should talk with respect to what is the mean and what is the standard deviation. So now, so what is the importance of this mu and standard deviation? We'll try to understand. N is nothing but normal distribution variable. I have told you, right? X is a random variable which is following normal distribution curve given mu and standard deviation. It is a normal distribution variable. So now, what is the importance of mu and what is the importance of sigma? We'll try to understand here. So here mu is equal to 0, mu is equal to 0, mu is equal to 0, standard deviation is equal to, sorry, mu is equal to -2. So what is the standard deviation? So this is not here with respect to standard deviation. This we are talking with respect to variance. So they just consider it as sigma. Sigma is nothing but your standard deviation. So initially for the first plot, see, simple is for first mu is equal to 0 and standard deviation is equal to 1. My plot will be a normal distribution curve. Second one, I'm talking with respect to this one. So this red color is called as your normal distribution curve. It is a normal bell-shaped curve like this. So now I'm going to keep my mu as it is 0 and I'm going to decrease my standard deviation from 1 to 0.2. 1 to 0.2. So your curve becomes like this. If you are decreasing your standard deviation instead of your normal curve, it becomes like this. It becomes see, the second curve becomes like this. Second curve in the sense I'm talking with respect to this one. If you increase or decrease, try to understand. If you increase or decrease your standard deviation, if you increase or decrease your standard deviation, it is not skewness, it is kurtosis. If you increase it, it will become negative kurtosis. See this last one, third one, this mustard color graph. So if you increase your standard deviation from 1 to 5, your kurtosis becomes negative. Your kurtosis becomes negative. Your kurtosis becomes negative. If you are decreasing your standard deviation from 1 to 0.2, your kurtosis becomes positive. So what does this indicate is increase or decrease in your standard deviation will either get you positive peak or negative peak, wider peak or thinner peak. If it is decreasing, it will get you thinner peak. If it is increasing, it will get you wider peak. That is the importance of your sigma. That is the importance of your sigma. Coming to the last one. Coming to this last one, if you are keeping your standard deviation as 1, let me keep it as standard deviation as 1. I'm going to increase or decrease my mu. Either I can increase it to +2 or -2, whatever it can. So if I do this, your curve move towards your right hand side or left hand side. See here, -2 is here. Your mu becomes -2 here. If I move it to +2, then your curve will be like this. So your curve will be like this. So what does this indicate is if you increase or decrease, yes, if you increase or decrease your standard deviation, it becomes with respect to kurtosis. There will be change in your kurtosis. Either it becomes positive kurtosis or negative kurtosis. Whereas when you increase or decrease your mean, it will affect your skewness. Either your curve move towards your left hand side of the mean or towards your right hand side of the mean. So it is just a simple understanding. So any random variable which is following normal distribution curve with respect to given mean and standard deviation, it will either move towards your right hand side or left hand side of the mean, or based on your standard deviation, it either have positive peak or negative peak. Yes, Sanjay, it is mu controls skewness, standard deviation controls kurtosis.
Yogesh,
Yeah.
if you increase the standard deviation, but it still falls in the positive only, no? There's no negative.
Skewness or kurtosis you're talking?
The yellow color, the 5 sigma is called standard deviation is called 5.0.
Yes, this one.
So this is a positive only, no? There's no negative here.
See, positive means what? See, I'm talking with respect to kurtosis or skewness. That is my question. Your question is positive kurtosis or positive skewness?
Is a positive only, no? Positive skewness.
See, positive skewness, it is neutral. It is neutral in this case,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, but there's
But
no positive. How you define the positive or negative? This one, both are in the 50-50, no?
see, it depends. See, in your standard deviation, you cannot get with respect to your standard deviation is only for your kurtosis, not for skewness. Standard deviation is for kurtosis, not for skewness. Try to understand the chart. See the chart. This chart, and you look into this particular curve. So this is your positive peak, and this is
Yeah,
your negative peak. So this indicates it is
negative. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
this is your
Negative.
negative kurtosis,
Negative.
and this
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
called
Right.
as your positive kurtosis.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it.
Ratnesh, coming to you, it is simple, Ratnesh. Simple way is if you are increasing your mu, either increase it or decrease it, it will lead to positive skewness or negative skewness. So what does this indicate means? Either your curve move towards your left hand side like this green color, or it can move towards your this side. So that is the impact of your mu, because your mu changes from 0 to -2 or -3 or -1 or +1 +2 +3. This is the importance of your mu. When it comes to your skewness, that is your standard deviation, it indicates the peak. Whether if you are increasing your standard deviation, it says that it is your negative kurtosis. If you are decreasing your standard deviation, it indicates that it is positive kurtosis.
Yogesh, can you explain with the example? Because we are not understanding the terminologies and all.
This is what the example is. This is what the example is. I'll be having some examples next. I'll show you. There is some
Okay.
case studies. See, it is just a variable. That's it. See, there is no example for this. This is just a variable. We'll see in the next example. We'll have some case studies for this.
So in real-time scenario, explain with some that
Yes,
will be
in
there in
real
the
time. In real time scenarios only like this. See, in your real time scenarios, for example, I'll give you one this. I'll give you in your next slide. I'm going to give you some assignments. Based on that, we'll try to understand. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Tell that simple way is I'm concentrating on hike. Okay, let me just talk with respect to hike. Okay, hike is an variable. Hike is a variable. For example, I want to identify person who is getting greater than 15% hike. X is a person who is getting more than 15% hike. Okay, so my question is like this: a person who is getting an hike of so and so is a normal random variable person with mu is equal to 5 and standard deviation is equal to 2. I'll be giving you like this question. So you need to implement this and you need to calculate what is that person's probability. We'll see that also in the case study. I've prepared some of the case studies for that as well. I have a real-time case study for that. Please note down this. Note down this particular chat. So next topic is called as your standard normal distribution. So what is the standard normal distribution is simple. I'll go to the next some blank slide and I'll give you some examples. So consider this is your age, this is your work experience, this is your CTC, this is your mobile number. This is your mobile number. So age can be 30, 25, 27, 26, 22. Work experience is 5 years, 4 years, 2 years, 3 years, 9 years. Okay, just give me a sec. Hello. Hello. Are you okay, Manu, you are from US? Yes. So coming to your CTC, consider the 30 years of experience guy who is getting a 12 lakh rupees per annum. 12 lakhs. I'll put it as 12 lakhs. And 4 years guy who is getting 10 lakhs. I'm just taking it as something like this. 8 lakh 60,000 and 9 lakh 2,000. I'm just writing some random this thing. So 32 years, 9 years of experience is getting 13 lakhs 25,000. Okay, now this is your mobile number 9845, some numbers, some numbers, some numbers, some numbers, some numbers, and some numbers. Now tell me, can you remember each and every columns? Consider that this is your TCS employees data. Consider this is your TCS employees data. You have 1 lakh employees like this. Each and every employees age, work experience, CTC, mobile number, and some other details of an employee HR analytics data. So will you be able to remember each and every column's mean and standard deviation? Will you be able to remember each and every column's mean and standard deviation in your real time? No, right? So it cannot be possible in your day-to-day life. One thing is not to remember what is mean and standard deviation for each and every single column. Apart from this, can you tell me what will be the age unit? Age will be in your years, right? Age will be in years, 29 years, 30 years, 25 years, 27 years, like this. So what will be the work experience unit? Unit of work experience. That can be either in months or that can also be in years. 5-year work experience, 4 years work experience, 2 years work experience, like this. So both the columns are having same unit. Both are in years. Both are in years or months it can be. So what about the CTC? If you are working in India, what will be the unit of CTC? Rupees, right? So this is your rupees. This is your years. Let me put it as months as your units for work experience, and years will be in your age. So, and mobile number, what is the mobile number unit? It will be just numbers, right? It will be just numbers, digits, numbers. So consider that you are having your degree percentage like this: 75%, 80%, 90%. One more column, degree percentage. So what is the unit of this column? Unit of this column is percentage. So each and every column has different units. One thing, and you cannot remember in your real time what is the mean for each and every column. That is something general. And this, especially this units, coming to this units part, each and every column will be in your real time having different units. For example, rupees, numbers, percentage, years, months, dollars, or it can be anything. So if you're having multiple columns in your data set, each and every column will have different units. So in order to overcome this, there is something called as standard normal distribution. Remember this. So if you apply your standard normal distribution, irrespective of any number of rows, whether you have 1 million records or 1 billion records with n number of data columns, like for example, you have 10 columns, or you might have 25 columns, or you might have 1,000 columns of data, irrespective of any number of columns and any number of rows, your mu will be 0 and standard deviation will be 1. Your mu will be 0 and standard deviation will be 1 if you make it as standard normal distribution, so that if you have any n number of columns, you can remember that mu is 0 and standard deviation is 1. One is your, why we should go for standard normal distribution? Can you tell me why we should go for standard normal distribution? One thing is to solve your unit issue. Remember this point. This will be an interview question. One first point is for standardizing unit. You can call it as, make it as unitless. You can tell it as
square root, you are removing the unit.
Yes, removing the units. You can call it as, you are getting it into unitless. You are making it as unitless, or you can tell it as, in order to solve unit issue, we are going for standard normal distribution. First point. Second, there is one more important point why you want to go for standard normal distribution is, remember this, each and every column will see, for example, your work experience was in like between 10 to 50 or 10 to 80 or 10 to 100. Let me put test 10 to 100. Age will also be 1 to 100, and your work experience also will be 1 to 100. Your mobile number will be having 1 digit. Will you have mobile numbers with 1 digit?
No, not possible.
You'll have minimum at least 8 to 10 digits. Worst case also you'll have 10 digits. So this is your units. This work experience and age will be in units and tens. Units and tens. If you have 1 year, 2 year, 3 years, it will be in units. If it is 10 years, 25 years, 30 years, it will be in tens. And this mobile numbers will be of 10 digit: 9, 8, 4, 5, 4, 6, 5, 4, 0, 3. So this is units, tens, hundreds, thousand, 10,000, lakhs, 10 lakhs, crores, 10 crore, 100 crore. So the unit of this mobile number becomes 100 CR. And you have one more column, and you have one more column with respect to your CTC. Your CTC will be 25 lakhs, 30 lakhs. It will also be in 25 lakhs, tens of lakhs, right? So you'll be having different scales. One is in units, another one is in tens, another one is in 100 crores, another one is in lakhs, another one is in 10 lakhs. So apart from your unit issue, you also have a scaling issue. Scaling issue means one column is in tens, another column is in hundreds, another column is in thousands, another column is in 10 lakhs. So that is called as scaling issue. That is called as scaling issue. So if you have scaling issue and unit issue in your data, you need to go for standard normal distribution. So the process of converting your normal distribution variable to standard normal distribution is called as standardization. I'll show you in real time. In your real time, the data will be like this only. In your real time, your data will be like this only. Each and every column will not have same unit, and also it will not be of same scale. It will not be of same scale.
UVG, why it is mean is 0, standard deviation 1?
Yes, that is the reason. In order to make it as standard issue, in order to solve the scaling issue and unit issue, and also you cannot remember in real time all the columns as what is the mean for this, you are going to do standard normal distribution. This will make sure that your mu becomes 0 and your standard deviation becomes 1. That is how.
In real time scenario, it will be like that?
Yes, 100%. I'll show you how to make it as 1 and how to make it 0. I'll show you in live now. There is a formula for that. So just note down the theory part. Why do you go for standardization is in order to make your normal distribution variable, make it as to solve unit issue and scaling issue. So that is the reason we go for standard normal distribution. In standard normal distribution, your mu will be 0 and your standard deviation will be 1. So how do we achieve this? I'm going to show this. How do we achieve this? And the process of doing all these things is called as standardization, or in other words, you can also call it as normalization. Standardization or normalization. Standardization or normalization. Note it down. I'll go to the slide. Now coming to the slide, original slide. See here, the standard normal distribution. A normal distribution with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribution with a mean of 0, mu is equal to 0, and the standard deviation of 1 is called as standard normal distribution. So a normal distribu distribution. Now you can see here, any x value can be transformed into a z-score by using the formula, this one. So this is the formula. So simple formula is, write it in this way: z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma. See here, value minus mean, standard deviation. Don't write it in this way, write it as x minus mu divided by sigma. So you know what is mu? Mu is nothing but your mean. You know what is your sigma? It is nothing but your standard deviation. And what is this x? X is nothing but your random variable. X is nothing but your random variable. So if you use this formula, your data will become standard normal distribution. Standard normal distribution, or the process is called as standardization. Standardization or normalization. So you should remember this formula: x minus mu divided by sigma. X minus mu divided by sigma is a formula to calculate your z-scores. You can call it as z-scores, or you can call it as standard normal distribution, but make sure that you use technical jargons with respect to data science. So any x value can be transformed into a z-score by using the formula x minus mu divided by sigma. So the process of doing this is called as standardization or normalization. So what I'll do is, now I'm going to implement using some Excel sheet. I'm going to show you how to make it as standard normal distribution and normal distribution. So you're able to see my Excel sheet? You're able to see my Excel sheet?
Hello, Yogesh?
Yes.
Yeah, can I ask a question?
Yes.
See, because you mentioned that mu will be 0 and standard deviation will be 1.
Yes.
Only then it will be a standard normal distribution, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so anything minus 0 by 1 will be that only, no?
Minus 0?
By 1.
Yes. Minus 0 by 1 will be what?
Anything minus 0 by 1.
Yes. Anything minus 0 by 1 is what?
That much only, no? Like x minus 0 by 1 is equal to x.
You are talking with respect to z standardization or generic one you're talking
The
about?
z-score, that the formula that you showed, no? C
Yes,
is equal to x minus mu.
Divided by. So you are talking about this minus 0 and 1. No, it is not like that. So this is your normal variable, like 1, 2, 3. So in order to make this values into standardization, you are using a formula called as x minus mu divided by sigma. After applying this formula, you are making it as mu is equal to 0 and standard deviation as 1, not before applying.
Okay, got it.
That is what I'm explaining you now.
Yeah.
Okay, see here. So let me just put one variable called as normal distribution, this column, and this column I'll put it as standard normal distribution. So what I'll do is I'll take x random variable x, and here also I'll not put anything. Here I'm going to take 3 values, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Please try to understand. It is simple. I'm going to calculate mean. Mean is nothing but your mu. And here it is your standard deviation. SD. So how do we calculate mean?
Average.
What is the mean of this? Yes, what is the mean of this column? You should tell me.
Average
is equal to average of 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, 6 divided by 3 is nothing but 2. So this is my mean. Oh shit. It's not responding. I wouldn't have clicked it. So let me close it. Okay. Simple ways. Let me try to write it and explain.
Hi Yogesh.
Yes.
Sorry, I just disconnected and reconnected.
Yeah.
Because of the voice suddenly went down.
Okay, now, so let me just take example of 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. For this, I need to calculate my mean. So if I use Excel, it is simple that it is 1, 2, 3, your mu becomes 2. Your mu becomes 2, that is your mu. So what is your standard deviation? What will be your standard deviation? If you want to calculate it mathematically, you need to use the formula that is square root of variance. So approximately you'll be getting 1. Exactly you'll be getting it as 1. So what we will do is, this is your mu and this is your standard deviation. The formula to calculate your mean and standard deviation we have already obtained. So to make it a standard normal distribution, the formula is z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma.
Yeah.
So this is your x. This is your x. So I'm applying this formula to calculate standard normal distribution. Standard normal distribution. So this is your x1, this is your x2, this is your x3. So how do I write it? X minus mu, how can I write in my first column?
x1 minus
1 minus,
1
this is
minus
1 is x, minus mu is what? Mu is what? 2 here. 2 divided by sigma is how much?
1.
1. Again here, this is your first row. Second row, it is 2 minus 2 divided by 1. This is your 3 minus 2 divided by 1. So if I calculate this, I'm going to get some value. So that value, if I take average and standard deviation, I'm going to get it as 0 and 1. So let me just calculate it mathematically in your Excel sheet and show you, so that you will be able to understand. It is easier way to understand. So let me just try to zoom it slightly. X, this is your normal distribution column. I'll put it as 1, 2, 3 is equal to average of 1, 2, 3. I'm going to calculate. If I calculate this, I'm going to get 2. This is nothing but my mu. So I'll calculate my standard deviation is equal to STDEV open parenthesis. I need to choose only 1, 2, 3. I'm choosing only 1, 2, 3. Enter 1. So this is your mu and standard deviation for your normal distribution. You should make it as standard normal distribution. So what is the formula? Formula, I'm going to write it here. X minus mu divided by sigma. X minus mu divided by sigma. So let me write it here. Use this cell and calculate it. Is equal to, what is your x here? What is your x? It is 1. 1 minus mu. Mu is nothing but 2. Divided by what? Standard deviation, that is sigma. So I'm going to enter. It is minus 1. So again, I need to calculate for this column. Is equal to 2 minus mu. X minus mu. So I'll put it in a parenthesis. I'll put it in parenthesis. Minus mu. Mu divided by sigma. Mu divided by sigma is equal to this. I'll put it in C parenthesis. This minus mu divided by sigma. Divided by sigma. So this is your minus 1, 0, 1. For this column, you need to calculate your average and your standard deviation. Now if you calculate standard deviation for this column, you are going to get it as 0 and 1. So let me try to use your function called as 0 and 1. Is equal to what it should be? Average of this column. Next is standard deviation, STDEV, open parenthesis, see, you should not include this 0 because it is only minus 1, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to close this, enter. So what is your mu and standard deviation? Now it became
0.
0 and 1. So irrespective of whatever the numbers you have, let me just make it as some other numbers. Let me change it to these numbers. See here. If you change this 1 to 1 to 3, in your original normal distribution, you'll be getting different mu, and standard deviation is also 69. But when it's your standard normal distribution, everything is 0 and 1. Everything is 0 and 1. It is not only with respect to 3 digits. If you put 10 digits also, it will be same. See, I'll put it as minus some number. Here also I'll put it as minus 1. See, your mu is minus 22, 44, 67, and standard deviation is 38, 88, 394 or 94. But your standard normal distribution is 0 and 1 as it is.
So irrespective of any data, it will become 0 and 1 only.
Yes, irrespective of any, that is what I told you. Irrespective of one column, irrespective of n number of columns, irrespective of n number of records, 1 million records, 1 billion records, your standard normal distribution becomes mu is equal to 0 and standard deviation as 1.
Why do we calculate this kind of way in real-time scenario?
See, whenever you have multiple variables, that is what I told. In your multiple variables, you'll be having different units.
Yes.
Or different scale. That is the reason you are going to use standardization in your real time. When I start implementing your machine learning algorithms, I'll show you how to implement this and why. What is the advantage of this also.
Okay. So for every data, it is 0 and 1. How can we estimate, interpret the things to some real scenarios?
See, first you will not be calculating for your standard normal distribution. First you will be calculating for your normal data. That data you are noting down, this is the mu for this is the standard deviation. If you want to achieve your machine learning algorithms, if you have multiple variables, you are going for standard normal distribution. That is where you are understanding here. So that is the reason you should go with standardization. You will be having multiple units. If you are having 10 columns, all these 10 columns will have multiple units. You cannot have match with respect to this, right? So consider this. This is rupees. This is dollars. Okay. 10 rupees, 20 rupees, 30 rupees. This is $100,000, $10,000, $25,000, and $250,000, $3,000. So this is in dollars. The unit for this column is dollars, and this column it is rupees. So if you achieve this, you cannot map it with respect to whatever this column and this column is, because there is a scaling issue and also unit issue. This is in tens, 20s, and hundreds, and this is in 10,000, 50,000, 250,000, and this is 3,000. You cannot meet with respect to this one. If you calculate this, then this, there will be a huge difference. So in order to overcome this, you are going for standardization in your real time. I'll explain you those things and all when we.
So that means by this you're making everything as 0 and 1 only.
Yes. By using this, everything is becoming 0 and 1.
So what we achieve from making 0 and 1, actually, if you want to do calculation, anything like that,
that is what I'm telling you. That is what I'm telling you. Please have patience. This is your real-time scenario. Everything I cannot explain you now and then itself. Because again, I need to jump into machine learning from now. Because you're still in basics. You're not even completed 10%. I'm telling you this from the first day. Please. If you are in a hurry, you cannot learn. I'm telling you now itself. Please make sure that you have patience and take down this calculation in your handwritten notes, and take down this formula also. Z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma.
Is G score and Z is the same?
Yeah, that is what. Z is nothing but your Z score.
Okay. There is a table, it seems, G score and T score something.
Please wait. Still we have not completed, right? Till we have 2 more days, 3 more days to do all these things.
Okay.
Please have patience. Who is this?
Ram Shiva.
Ram Shiva, please have patience. I cannot tell for every topic, I cannot tell you that wait. Please understand. Please note down this formula. Z is equal to x minus mu divided by sigma. And I'd given you one assignment. Did I give you any assignment? No, I guess. Yes, not for you guys, because I've already explained you what is the mode function. Probably Wednesday will be receiving your first set of assignments. Mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, and skewness, kurtosis, and your standard normal distribution. Tomorrow, whatever we are going to complete, that also we are going to get your assignments, special assignments. Now I'm going to give you one assignment today. So because this is a complicated concept with respect to your standard normal distribution, we cannot complete more than 3 slides. So fine, not a problem. I'll give you one assignment. Simple assignment. Don't make it as complicated. So what you should do is, I'll give you one question. You should answer me this. You should answer me in tomorrow's session. Because probability is slightly complicated because nobody understands how to calculate your probability. So now my question is like this. My question is like this. This is the question. Try to understand this question. And I want you all to calculate this one and also this one. I want you to calculate. See, I know you will, some of them will be getting correct answer, some of them will be getting wrong answer, but I don't want anyone to discourage here. Why I'm giving this is, you might have written your aptitude test when you get into your companies, probably long back, like 5 years, 10 years, 6 years, 3 years, 4 years. But I want you all to calculate this. Do some research on this. No worries. Spend 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is. I want you all to calculate this question. So lifespan of a person can be reasonably modeled using a normal distribution. Mu is equal, see, lifespan of a person means you're calculating lifespan of a human being that can be reasonably modeled using normal distribution. So where your x is following normal distribution, given mu is nothing but 72 and standard deviation is 6. So what is the probability of x? What is the probability of x? X is nothing but person. X is nothing but a human being having greater than more than living for more than 75 years. And what is the probability of x? The same person having less than 75 years of lifespan. So I'll give you one more clue how to plot this and how to calculate it. Use your sense. So this is your normal distribution curve. As it is normal distribution curve, what is your mu? Mu is 72. It is nothing but your mean. So what is your x? What is your x for this question? X is 75. X is 75. So 75 will be obviously after 72. So 75 is here. So for first question, what is your, which region should I calculate? Should I calculate? Let me just change the color of my pen. So should I calculate this region or should I calculate this region? First question. This question I'm asking. Green color, yes, because your question is probability of x, a person living greater than 75 years.
75.
This one you should calculate for the first question, and second question you should calculate less than 75. It is your, sorry, I need to change this symbol. 1 second, let me just change this symbol. I copied it. So now second one you should calculate this blue color region. Blue color region. Do some research. See, you might have multiple ideas. It is nothing like I will only be showing you simple way. You can also show me a simple way. There is something like exchange. So you can approach some other easiest way to calculate this. I can implement some other way. So there is nothing wrong and right. You can try it out and you can give a shot for this, because you might have used multiple times. What is the probability of you getting promoted? What is the probability of you getting 80% hike or greater than 70% hike or whatever it is? So that is the reason I'm going to give you how do you calculate mathematically, provided that you should tell me the answer for both in tomorrow's session. This is just an assignment for your tomorrow's session. That's it. So it is your like this. X is following normal distribution. X is following normal distribution given mu. Mu is nothing but 72 is mu, and comma standard deviation is 6. Standard deviation is 6. Write down this. See, write down this question. Please clearly write down this question. And don't tell that I have not got this question. Is it done for everyone? Have you noted down the question? So tomorrow I want you all to answer, and if you have solved your answer, don't ping on public chat, please ping on private chat tomorrow. Because if one person ping the answer, everyone will copy the same thing. I don't want. See, even though if you do mistake, we can learn from mistakes, but make sure that you try, give a try. Okay, we'll stop at this point. Tomorrow we'll try to cover, one sec, tomorrow's topic I'm going to tell. So at least like for until this, probably next another 5 days, 6 days, we'll try to be on the same phase. Don't want more than this. If you ask me also, I'll not do more than this, because until and unless we get hold of statistics, we'll be slow, slightly 3 slides, 4 slides, 2 slides in one day. After that, until and unless we complete your one of the case study, we'll be using in 1 or 2 days, we'll be solving one of the banking case study. After that, we'll try to jump into hypothesis testing. From there onwards, we'll slightly increase our speed to 10% day by day, 10%, 5%, 2%. Okay, so make sure that you complete this assignment by tomorrow. So again, tomorrow we'll connect around same time, 7:30 to 7:35. I'm going to start as usual, 7:30 to 7:35. And don't think that I'm discouraging because you're asking many questions, because as Ram Shiva was asking about Z table, in tomorrow's session, I'll show you how to use this Z table. So in tomorrow's session, we have this topic. Don't get it something like, don't get it demotivated or something, because you should have patience, because I cannot show each and every topic on the single day. So that's the reason I'm taking time.
Hi Yogesh.
Yeah.
Yeah, just add some dot on regarding the box plot. Yesterday we are
Yes.
discussing.
Yes.
Because you have shown some example. Just I'm practicing. Just I got doubt on the salary data, and I'm doing the box plot for the age actually. So
Okay.
can you? I want to know how you proportionally or distribute the first quarter, second quarter actually from the age column.
For age column.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what is the minimum and maximum in your age column that you should see?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That one I'm getting from the directly from formula. I can getting the value from the from RStudio.
Yeah. So tell me, what is the minimum and maximum in your data? How to calculate? I'll tell you.
So minimum I can get in 17. That minimum. So maximum
19.
is
Maximum
90.
is
90.
So 90 minus 17 is how much?
90 minus 17. That's 73.
90 minus 17 is 73.
73.
73 divided by 4 is how much?
Divided by 4 is coming to something 18.2. 18.5.
18.5.
But when you see in the box plot, the first quarter is giving as a 28.
This one.
Box plot, when you yeah, is giving the first quarter is giving a.
So what is the median? What is the median? That also you should see.
Yeah, the median value coming 37.
See, if you're having median as 37, obviously your data contains outliers. Yes or no?
Yeah, right.
Yes, that is the reason it is calculating. It is not considering your outliers. It is not considering your outliers. So that is the reason you are getting it as 18. What is the minimum value it is taking?
Minimum is 17. No minimum.
Yes, minimum you told 17. Either there is mu. What is your mean? What is your mean?
Mean is 38.4381.
How much?
38.43.
43. Median is 37. So if you don't mind, can you send me that column data?
Yes, same here. Yeah, I use the your file only, same salary data file.
Okay, fine. I'll explain you in tomorrow's session as well. I'll explain that also. So it is nothing but it will have outliers on either side. It can be on lower end or it can be on upper end.
Yeah, outlier is it, but based on the calculation that I couldn't getting how is calculating 28 actually the Q1.
See how it is calculated in a sense. It might ignore. It might have ignored this. It might have ignored this. I'll tell you in the tomorrow session. One more concept. I'll tell you extra additional concept how to calculate your to identify your outliers. Also tomorrow I'll show you. Okay.
Yeah, one more thing also regarding the function we use yesterday for mode calculation in the R.
Yes. Yeah.
So we for that is for numeric calculation for the static
Yes.
categorical data for race or
Yes.
something.
Yes.
But when you come into numeric, we use the inbuilt function called east mode. Or what is that? East mode, I think.
Yeah. Mode EST.
Mode EST and MFE value using. But when
Yes.
when I use the same custom function using for the age column, also I can retrieve the value. 36 is coming.
Yes, you can use it, but the thing is directly we don't have like your mean and median. We don't have like mean. We have direct function, right? Like this. Mode we have direct. So for mode we don't have direct function like this. That is what
But
I meant. Median.
Yeah, we are
Median
for
we have
mode
direct
we do, yeah, median we have, but mode we are using the custom function. We're creating user different function, and
Yes.
we are for the mode EST. We are using the mode EST using for the numeric calculation.
Numeric calculation.
Numeric mode calculation.
Yes.
Yeah, but it won't work for the
Yes.
discrete value, discrete columns.
Yes, it will not
Right?
work.
For the instead of using the EST mode, even the age
Yes.
can be calculated in the custom function. User
Yes,
different
you
function
can do
also.
that. Yes, you can.
That
You need
also,
to take the maximum occurrences of all those things and you can calculate it.
yeah, okay.
There are a lot of things. There are a lot of things you have to do research. See, I'll be showing a path. You should not only stick to this path, you should also do some research on other paths as well. I can show you one way. There are multiple thousands of ways to do this same thing. If you know how to travel from one corner to one corner, you will be using this same road to travel from your office to home or home to office. But one or the other day, you might have to
Yeah,
go
yeah,
like this also,
yeah,
right?
yeah, of course.
Or
Yeah.
sometimes you have to go like this also. Sometimes you'll be going like this. So I'm having an interview call around now 9. So
Okay.
we'll connect again tomorrow. Okay,
Okay.
friends.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks. Bye bye. Good night.